Watch and learn how to cut a palazzo pant in a very simple way. In this tutorial, you'll be learning how to cut a palazzo pant in a very simple way without stressing yourself, even as a beginner. So now I went up by 2 inches. That will be for my band that I want to attach to the pants. So now you can decide to make yours 1.5 inches, 1 inch, depends on what you want. So now the next thing for me to do is to mark my hip line. My hip line is 8 inches. 8 inches work for everyone if the person is not so tall. If the person is very tall, you can use 9 inches. So now after marking my hip line, I marked my crotch line. My crotch line is 11 inches. So after marking my crotch line, the next thing for me to do is to mark my tight line. So now for you to get your tight line, you can go down from your crotch line by 4 inches. You can go down by 4 inches from your crotch line. So that will be your tight line. Then after marking your tight line, the next thing for you to do is to mark the total length of your pants. But as you are marking the total length of your pants, make sure that you deduct the band that you removed. Do you understand? Like now mine is actually 2 inches, so I'm going to make sure that I deduct it before marking the total length of my pants. So I'm trying to mark the total length of my pants. Mine is 40 inches, so that is what I am marking. So now all those markings that we have, draw a straight line across everything. Draw a straight line across everything. So just follow what I'm doing and you are surely going to get it right. And make sure that your measurements are correct, especially your crotch measurements. Make sure it is very correct. How can you get that? You can tell your client to sit perfectly on a chair, then you measure from the waist to the down parts of the bum. You can get your crotch measurements that way. So now after doing that, next thing for me to do is to come to this my hip line. I'm going to divide my hip measurements by 4 and also add 1 inch for my sewing allowance. You can decide to make your sewing allowance 2 inches, depends on what you want. So now I'm going to divide my hip measurements by 4, then add my 1 inch for my joining allowance. Do you understand? So now after doing that, I'm going to mark it on my fabric. And for those of you that love to ask what kind of material am I using, this particular fabric is called Korean crepe and it comes out really nice when making a pants. So now I'm going to come down to this crotch line and also mark the same measurements that I marked on my hip line. You can see what I'm doing. So now how can I get my crotch extension? I'm going to measure what I have here. You can see what I'm getting. I'm going to divide it into 2. Just watch carefully. I'm going to divide it into 2. After dividing it into 2, what I